It's my honor to introduce Ann Gulino for induction into the Fairleigh Dickinson University Athletic Hall of Fame.
This is what happens when you ask two Italians to stay to 10 minutes. It doesn't happen. But I talk very fast. I write small, but I talk very fast. Thank you, Rich. I didn't even think that was me you were talking about at times, but thank you. A couple of you guys tonight, you're a tough act to follow. I had to cut all my jokes out, and now I have to add them all back in. Congratulations to the honorees tonight, and thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for this great night, and what a wonderful honor. On Wednesday, St. John's didn't think that I was good for anything, because Wednesday was the day that Sean, my Irish blessing for you tonight is I hope you don't split your pants, and that your wife has finally forgiven me for feeding your infant daughter Vienna fingers and getting you in trouble a long time ago. But when Sean sent the list to me, I have to tell you, I was completely overwhelmed. In a good sense, but nevertheless very overwhelmed. And in 25 years in trying to keep to the Sean Morrison 10-minute rule, I cannot possibly do all the names. So I'm going to ask you to accept a very general but very heartfelt thank you to those of you that are here tonight. I am blown away. I just can't tell you how much it means to me that you're here tonight. If I could do all the names, we would be here until morning, and Sean assured me that he's not Denny's and he doesn't serve breakfast. So please accept that very general but very heartfelt thank you. There are a couple of remarks I would like to make, though. To the 4 ADs that I worked for, Roy Danforth, who's here tonight, Jerry Oswald, who in so many, many ways set the table for the 97-98 men's basketball NEC championship and that close game against UConn. Steve Hurlbut, that was the man that had the wisdom and the foresight to change our equity plan and add the sport of women's bowling. And I'll tell you, a couple of years ago after that national championship, that was the first phone call I made, because he's looking like a genius. And current AD David Langford. I thank you for the opportunity and the lessons I learned from each of you. There are things that stay with me to this day, and I use them to this very day. And I'd like to make a special note. I had no idea until Wednesday that he was coming, to Roy Danforth, who himself is a Hall of Famer, and a very colorful personality, and the man that hired me. For the first year I worked for him, and I hope there is not a priest in the room, my name was goddamn Gulino. It wasn't until John Suarez, who's here tonight and is the current athletic director at LIU, but was once on the FDU staff, until I started to hear a few goddamn Suarez, that I know that it was okay to be called goddamn Gulino. I was 26 years old. I was a rookie. I had changed from one Northeast Conference school to another, so I was already suspect. And all I heard, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, was goddamn Gulino. He thought that was my first name. It wasn't until we went a couple of years later to the NCAA tournament that I knew he knew that my first name was Ann. But Roy, I am so glad you are here tonight. It was a wonderful 10 years, and the lessons I've learned from you are just completely invaluable. And I can't even say anything more, because we'll still be here until breakfast. So please accept that as the best I could do tonight. To the athletic staff, as well as that worked with me and that I worked with during the 25 years that I was at FDU, as well as the staff members external to the athletic department, as there were a lot of offices that we dealt with on a daily basis. Many of you are here tonight, and I know that you know the tagline, and certainly the tagline during the 2 years that I was, or 2 opportunities that I had to be the interim AD, was whatever it took. And I can't thank you for your loyalty enough. I can't thank you for your loyalty and your dedication to doing whatever it took for our department and the student athletes. Those student athletes, some of whom are here in the room tonight being honored, those student athletes that won 6 Commissioner's Cups, those student athletes that won numerous NEC titles, NCAA appearances, and just as importantly, those student athletes that succeeded academically, posting higher and higher grade point averages each and every year. A couple of NEC colleagues are in the room tonight from NEC schools. I have a word for all of you. I have several words for all of you. It's very interesting to sit across, thank you, Peg. It's, we're not at a baseball game. It's very interesting to sit across the table with colleagues and have differing opinions, and then sit at your games, some of which are very fiercely contested. But the luck of the Italian, I guess, is that the thing that transcended all those games and heated contests, and that I am so grateful for, is a feeling of respect and a friendship that has endured for a long, long time and has lasted and continued to this very day, so thank you. And to my FDU colleagues that I worked with for many, many years and developed a friendship with, I'm not sure there are enough words. And there is not a day that goes by that I don't think of you, and it's usually with a funny story that's attached to that. To my family, Tom, Kelly, Mom, my sister Beth and her husband Greg, family friend Mary. Everybody needs a Mary in their life. Mary's the person that was always called when I was in trouble at home, so Mary's now here for something good. My niece, she drew the short straw tonight. She had to stay home and babysit the dogs. 2 of which are my sisters, 1 of which is ours. If there are no couches by the time we get home, this is going to be a very expensive night for me. My 2 nephews can't be here. One's in Colorado, Kyle, and my other nephew, Lance Corporal Casey Saunders of the United States Marines, who just got back to North Carolina after his first tour overseas. I thank you for your understanding and patience with the crazy schedule that those of us that work in athletics have. And if you'll let me digress for just one long run-on sentence, for those of you, and you are mainly in that half of the room, that have supported us for the last 5 months, and Mom, I'm not going to embarrass you, but this night is that much more special as you, since Easter Sunday, have fought your way to recover from a life-threatening fall in the house that resulted in a broken neck, dangerously close to your spinal column, and that makes this night that much more special for all of us to celebrate. And for us, this is the first time that all of the people that have supported us have been in the same room together. On behalf of the Gulino, Thompson, Saunders families, we can't thank you enough for your prayers, thoughts, phone calls, texts, emails. We're not standing here without you, and we love you guys. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Rich, thank you for that very kind intro. Your contributions to this university have been outstanding, and despite your retirement, some of them still are in place today. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and I'm thankful for your wisdom, your guidance, and your friendship. The things you taught me I rely on daily, and I can hear your words in my head as I face situations. Privately and publicly, I have often referred to you as my big brother or my uncle. But it wasn't until somewhat recently, and I was actually trying to explain this to Beth the other day, that I realized how much, with your amazing sense of humor and your love of food, because we never had a meeting that didn't include food, that you were so much like my dad, and that just deepens my fondness and admiration for you. And somewhere up in heaven, I have a smiling father who's doing a happy dance, but at the same time, he is shouting in my ear, "Ann, quit while you're ahead and don't make a spectacle of yourself." Those were his favorite lines. So I'm going to close, with David's permission, borrowing 2 lines that he's famous for. Once a night, always a night, and it is a great day to be a knight. Thank you.